What's up, guys? This is Hero bringing you guys a long-awaited deck profile. This is going to be a deck profile of my Tidal Mermails. I've gone through so much testing, so many builds. 3 Tidal, 2 Tidal, stream, no stream, 1 stream, 2 stream. Every single number of effect veilers and maxis you can think of. Lead, no lead. Breakthrough skills, no breakthrough skills. In the end, I kind of settled with a build that was inspired by some of the OCG builds that have been topping over in Japan against, Dragon Rulers and Prophecy and stuff. They do have a couple of cards that we don't, like Armor Kappa and whatnot. But I do think the build is a bit better. It runs a less number of Lens, Spheres, and Megalos, simply because the worst hands you can get are multiple Spheres or multiple Lens, and that really slows the deck down. Before, last format, it didn't really matter because Mermails was the fastest deck, but now that Prophecy and Dragon Rulers are basically the fastest decks, this deck has to keep up with them. Now, Tidal helps in that, but decreasing number of Spheres, Megalos, and Lins actually speeds up the deck, because every time I saw a second Lind in my hand or a second Sphere in my hand, I said, oh man, I wish this was a Maxi, I wish this was an Effect Veiler, I wish this was a Breakthrough Skill, something that would help me slow them down and allow me to keep up with Dragon Rulers and Prophecy. So that's what the deck is inspired. It's inspired by OCG builds. So I'm just gonna go through it real quick. I'm taking it to locals for the first time today because I just finished it. I'm missing a couple of cards that I don't own in the extra deck. Big Eyes and Draco Sack, but a couple of friends have 2 Big Eyes that they can let me borrow, and then Draco Sack I'll just have to buy eventually. So let's get into the main deck first. Main deck, we're going to start off with 1 lead, of course, 2700 body, and being able to be brought out with Sphere and or Lind is really useful. So this lead, you rarely actually bring it out with discarding a special summon, but I do use its Tribute 1 attack position Mermail to discard 1 card from your opponent's hand. That's what I start off with. So for example, if I'm able to bring out Megalo, Lead, and Teus, if I start off with like a Teus, I discard Dragoon, search for Megalo, search for Gund, and then Megalo discards this and Gund. Megalo, search for Sphere, special summon Lead. So I have Lead, Teus, Megalo. I use its effect, Tribute Teus, discard a card from their hand, and then make it go into Gaios. And I think that's a pretty strong first opening move, because you've decreased your opponent's options, and you also have a Gaios out. Depends on the deck, of course, but against most of the decks, it's a pretty good opening move. So I actually use its ability more often than not, actually. So 1 lead, 2 Megalo. 2 Megalo, like I said, decrease the amount of Megalo simply because you want to speed up the deck. So you want to have hand traps, you want to have access to Breakthrough Skill, you want to have access to those cards that allow you to keep up with Dragon Rulers and Prophecy. So 2 Megalo and 3 Teus, because Teus is still really good. It's a 1 card discard outlet, allows you to search for Gund and other level 4 lower Mermail monsters. So those are the level 7s in terms of Mermails. Continuing on with the Mermails, I got 2 Linde. Linde, of course, is just Linde. She gets destroyed, you bring up a Sphere gets removed from the field, and you can search for any special summon any Mermail monster, so that includes Lead as well. However, she has to be destroyed. It's a little slow this format. Having, just opening with this set wasn't too bad last format, because there was nothing that was any faster than Mermails in terms of a deck, in terms of speed. But now that Dragon Rulers and Prophecy are a thing, just setting a card, just setting a land and setting like a Sphere against Dragon Rulers isn't going to get you anywhere. If anything, they're going to bring Big Eye your land if they know what you're playing, or if not, then they're just going to, you're going to just take they're going to destroy Linde. What are you going to bring out? You're going to bring out a Lead, and then Lead gets Big Eyed, and they make another rank 7, like a Draco Sack or something. So it's not a very good play. So that's why Lind has been brought down to 2. 2 Gund. Gund is great. Allows you to bring back from any levels any Mermail monster from your graveyard, which includes any level 7s. Megalo, Teus, and Lead. Allows you to make some rank 7 plays a lot easier. So 2 Gund. 1 Turge and 2 Pike. Since I'm only running 2 Gund and 2 Marksman, I thought the 3 Pike would be quite unnecessary. So I put down Pike to 2, but I still wanted to have a discard outlet that didn't involve special summoning because of Ophion. Being able to get a Ophion with infantry is pretty necessary. But Megalo, Teus, and Stream all like special summon on level 7, so you can't use their effects therefore you can't discard infantry. So Turge is there. It basically is a third discarding outlet that doesn't involve special summoning. You just summon Turge, discard infantry, pop something, and then you can choose something in your graveyard to bring back to your hand a water monster that's target one level 3 or lower water monster. So bring back a marksman. You can bring back an infantry. You can bring back a diva. You can bring back a gun to your hand with Turge effect. So that's pretty good. Next, that's it for the mermails. We have the supporting waters. 2 Deep Sea Diva. Deep Sea Diva, cut down to 2, simply because it's really good. It's still good. It's still a solid card. Just space had to be made, basically. Opening multiple divas wasn't the best. It doesn't do too much against Evil Swarm. Against Ophion, you can't really make a test or anything. Armory Arm is one of the few outs we have to it as well, actually. An Armory Arm Pike or something like that. But, you have to attack into it, and then, Evil Swarm run a lot of back rows. So it's going to be tough to have the attack connect with Ophion. So Deep Sea Diva, its usefulness has been decreased a little bit this format, but I still think it's worth running into simply because of that synchro access with the Armory Arm. Armory Arm can win you a lot of games if you play it well, especially with Megalo. 2 Atlantean Marksman, simply because not a lot of back row is run this format, and that what is run is usually chainable, compulses, breakthrough skills. Like if I discard Marksman for Teus, special summon Teus, and then they just chain breakthrough skill, then I can't search for Teus, and my Marksman didn't destroy anything. So it's just completely useless. So only 2 Marksman and a 3 Infantry, because most of the stuff that you want to blow up this format is face up, Crimson Bladers, the big guys, the Draco Sacks, whatever. You want to kill those. So 3 Infantry allows you to have an easier time doing that. 3 Dragoons, obviously you want to search out for your shit. Basically, that's it. That's it for the Atlanteans. Next we have the Tidal part of Tidal Mermails. 1 Stream and 3 Tidals. Stream is there simply as another discard outlet. Stream, top deck Stream late game is actually pretty good because if you have a gun in your hand, you can just ditch Stream and gun, special summon a Tidal from your deck, and then you can bring, with gun, you can bring back hopefully a level 7 that's in your graveyard. So allows you for easier rank 7 plays, and yeah, it's really, really good. Like, Tidal just keeps coming back. And then for the hand traps, of course, like I mentioned, you have to have these in order to keep up with the decks in the meta. 3 Effect Veiler and 3 Maxi. I think 3 and 3 is the best number. I would not recommend 2 and 2 simply because you just simply don't see it enough. Like, even at 3 and 3, sometimes I wish I had opened with a Maxi. Sometimes I wish I had opened with a Veiler when I hadn't. And at 40 cards and at 3/3, this is the maximum. I'm maximizing the chances of opening them, and sometimes I don't even open with them. So yeah, so 6 hand traps. Next, I run 3 spells. I do run the 1 Salvage. Salvage has been testing pretty okay. It's come pretty useful to bring back a Diva, to bring back an Infantry back to my hand when I need one. If I were to replace it, I would maybe replace it with a Book of Moon. Book of Moon's great because it allows allows your monster to get over a Veiler. For example, if I Big Eye something and they Effect Veiler it, I can chain Book of Moon to my Big Eye, set it, and then Effect Veiler's target is no longer face up, but Big Eye's effect still resolves. So Book of Moon is pretty solid in this format. So I might take it out for Book of Moon. I don't know. I'm still testing the Salvage. I'm looking at Salvage right now. So then 1 Heavy Storm and 1 Monster Reborn. That's all the spells I run. 3 spells. And then traps, 2 Sphere and 2 Breakthrough Skill. Like I said, the 2 Sphere, simply because only running 2 Megalo, only running 2 Linde to make room for the other cards. So 2 Breakthrough Skill and 2 Sphere. Next, the extra deck, what I do have of it. So my extra deck is missing 2 Big Eye and a Draco Sack, like I said. It's only about $300 in cards, so it's a big deal. So 1 Mermail Abyss Trite to go along with 1 Bahamut Shark. That's the good old Bahamut Shark Trite combo. It's really, really good still. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, and 2 Mermail Abyss Gaios. 2 Gaios. 2 Gaios. I have gone into 2. It's really good against Dragon Rulers. It's a solid card to go into and open with against most decks. So 2 Gaios is pretty good. 1 Armory Arm for the Synchros, 1 Armory Arm, 1 Catastor, 1 DeLorean, 1 Black Rose, 1 Gungnir, and 1 Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader is really good in the mirror and against Dragon Rulers. It just shuts them down the deck basically. If you get Crimson Blader off, it's extremely hard to lose unless you misplay really hard. So yeah. So that's the extra deck. What I have of it. Of course, I'm missing 2 Big Eye and 1 Draco Sack. Lastly, the side deck. The side deck involves 3 Electric Virus. Electric Virus allows me to take Ophion. It allows me to take Draco Sack. It allows me to take any Dragon Ruler. And against Ophion, you also pair it with this, Infestation Terminus. So against Evil Storm, you take their Ophion. If you have this still in your deck, you detach 1 for the Ophion, which means that Ophion should have 0 Exceeds Materials, which means that you can go off and summon level 5s. And you can search for this. And then next time you can take their Ophion again. And what Infestation Terminus does is you can target 1 of your Eelswarm monsters that you control, so the Ophion that you just took, and then banish the Ophion, and then return 2 cards that your opponent controls to the hand. So if their Exceeds monster is another Ophion or whatever, then you can you bounce it right back to the hand. And so yeah, so you can bounce back row, whatever it is, and then you can just go off and make your plays. So that's that. For Prophecy 3, Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird. The Prophecy matchup is the toughest, and Droll and Lockbird helps, but it only helps you for a turn. Like, sure, you wasted their judgment, whatever, but if they have another Magician, if they have another secrets, then you can just search another judgment out. So like you basically have to open with this because they nearly always open with judgment in some form, with Magician or with secrets or whatever. So it's really tough. So Droll and Lockbird is for the Prophecy matchup, but it's a tough matchup. Next 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, because I don't want to auto lose to like Mind Drain and Soul Drain. It's tough. Or defissures or whatever, macro or whatever. So those are in the side, simply because back row is pretty scarce this format. 2 Eradicators. I might cut a Draco Sack in my extra deck for a Colossal Fighter, simply for another Eradicator target, because right now my only Eradicator target would be Big Eye. Colossal Fighter would also make a pretty solid Eradicator target if I open a Veiler and I'm able to drop 1 level 7, then I'm able to sync her into Colossal, set this, and then EEV the Prophecy player. And next turn, I can also side this against Evil Storm and call traps, and then all the traps are gone, so which hurts them as well. So Eradicator is just a really solid side deck choice this format. And then lastly, these Imperial Iron Walls. It shuts down the Dragon Ruler player's graveyard, because they can't banish for any of the effects in the graveyard. So no cards can be removed from play. So it stops that. It also stops Deep Prison, Kirakion, Rescue Rabbit, Thunderbird, and Bottomless against Evil Storm, and also any side deck hate that they might bring out, like Macrocosmos, Defissure. Imperial Iron Wall will prevent those cards from getting removed from play as well. So Imperial Iron Wall is a really solid card for us, especially because not only does it shut their deck down, it also is an answer to their potential side hate as well. So against Dragon Rulers, it really just, like, they can only ditch cards, baby dragons, basically. That's the only way they can bring them out. They can blaster it. They can blaster Imperial Iron Wall, of course, but hopefully they don't. Yeah, that's the deck, guys. Side deck, incomplete extra, and the main deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Alright guys, here's out.